7 signs God is preparing you to be a chosen one. Now let's get into it, guys. Sign number 1, you start getting comfortable being alone. Now, when you start getting comfortable being alone, this is a very, very big sign that God is preparing you to be a chosen one. And that's because when you are alone, that's when you discover your true purpose. That's when you discover who you really are. That's when you discover, what is meant for you in life. That's when you discover your higher self, when you are alone, guys. I'm telling you, when I start to be more comfortable being alone, I start to learn so much more about myself. So if somebody neglected you, or like I said, you had to neglect something, or you had to leave something to be alone, and now you don't have nobody around you, just embrace that time with being by yourself. Like I said, when you start to get comfortable with being alone, that's when, like I said, your blessings is going to end up coming. That's when your mind is going to become even stronger. Because when you are alone, you have to take on accountabilities. So when you mess up, you have nobody to blame. No, this is what's going to strengthen you. This is what's going to sharpen up your character. It's going to sharpen up your mind. It's going to make your mind stronger. You've been held accountable for everything that you do. And when you are alone, that's what it does. Also too, you think more when you are alone. And when you think more, you start to become more creative. You start to think outside the box. Even you start to get knowledge and wisdom that's beyond human comprehension. It's all spiritual. Being alone is very, very spiritual. And this is why a lot of people, they can't accept being alone. But when you get comfortable with being alone, that's when, everybody that doubts you, they don't messed up, man. Because your blessings is going to come. Your breakthrough is going to come because you're going to start to set goals. And you're going to start to reach those goals. Trust me. You're going to start to go after what you really want in life. And you're going to become a better person. And you're going to start to make more money. Like I said, man. And by you being a chosen one, trust me. By you being alone, it's going to also just align yourself, your spirit, and your soul up with God. And just being around the right energy. It's going to put you in the right environment when you are alone and you start to better your life. I'm telling you guys, when you start to get comfortable being alone, that's when, you're going to start to see a lot of people start to just leave your life. And that's perfectly fine. That's okay. You continue to, pursue your purpose. And trust me, you're going to get to where you want to be because God, He's going to make sure that His strong soldier, He's going to make sure that His chosen one succeed and reap all the fruits and blessings that He has in store for your life. All right. Number 2, you start to pursue knowledge and wisdom. Trust me, when God's preparing you to be a chosen one, you're going to pursue knowledge and you're going to pursue wisdom. It's just going to naturally just flow, out of you. It's just going to naturally just be in you to want to know more. When I start, like, as me being a chosen one, I research a lot of stuff. I read the Bible. I read about the law of attraction. I read about, universal laws, all this type of stuff. And trust me, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge. I'm gaining a lot of wisdom. This is what you're going to pursue. Because as a chosen one, you're going to be a leader. You're not going to be a follower. So you're going to be helping people out. You're going to be telling people the good news of what God is doing for you in your life. You're going to be giving people knowledge and wisdom about different things in life that they don't know. It's a lot of lost people out here. And they need a leader. They need somebody to tell them which way to go. They need somebody to tell them, look, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Like I said, that's when wisdom come in. Based off of what you've been through, you're going to be able to tell people, don't go down that path. because I already been down that path, and it's the path of the destruction. You know, it's not the path of blessings. You know, it's not the path of enlightenment. It's the path of darkness, you know, and sorrow. But guys, this is what's going to happen when God starts to prepare you to be a chosen one. You're going to read. You're going to hear a lot of people speak. See, you're going to have a modest spirit. You're going to have a very, very modest nature and spirit. You're going to be listening to what other people got to say. You know, you're not going to be so quick to speak, but you're going to be really swift to hear and listen. You know, so what other people have to say about, you know, different walks of life and different situations. Like, that's what I do. I listen to people talk, and I hear about their situations. You know, I learn from other people's situations and my experiences. But if I can learn from someone else's experience to dodge going down the wrong path, I'll do that. You know, because I have a modest spirit, a modest nature. All right, guys? So, number 3. Another sign that God is preparing you to be a chosen one. You start to lose family. You start to lose friends. You guys got to understand that as a chosen one, you got to really realize that you're not going to, a lot of times, be with the people who you started with. Excuse me. I know a lot of you guys are, a lot of people just can't accept this. But this is what comes with being a chosen one. People coming in your life and then leaving your life. You know what I'm saying? Because as you've been a chosen one, your vibration is going up. And as you've been a chosen one, you are learning more. And as you've been a chosen one, you're going to want to be around more enlightened people. As you've been a chosen one, you're going to be more around godly people and people that's more spiritual. You know, as you being a chosen one. You don't want to be around just anybody as a chosen one. So, as you start to lose friends, like I said, as you being a chosen one, you got to be prepared for this. Because the first thing that they're going to say when you get on your purpose and you being a chosen one, your friends going to be trying to distract you to do stuff that just not you anymore. You know, it's just like, that I'm done in... That's done and over. I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving on to the next chapter in my life. You're not going to be stagnant. See, and a lot of your friends, a lot of y'all friends are stagnant. I know a lot of y'all don't want to admit that, but a lot of y'all friends are not trying to elevate. I'm not saying all y'all friends not. But what's going to happen is when you lose those friends that's not trying to elevate, it just take out that bad apple. That can spoil a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? And that's what needs to happen, you know. You need a deep cleansing as far as friends and family and who you hang around. And you got to be prepared to have this deep cleansing. You know, you're going to have to do a lot of fasting. You're going to have to go without. You might have to go without your best friend because your best friend, he's not trying to elevate or she's not trying to elevate. She does not want to, or he does not want to better his life. He's not trying to move forward. You know, he's just staying stuck or she just staying stuck. You got to be prepared to just, them walking away because they feeling like you better than them or you don't have time for them or, you know, you think you, they don't feel like you better than them because you pursuing your purpose. Because they're not pursuing their purpose, you know. And as far as like family, you know, it's going to be hard, but as a chosen one, as God's preparing you, expect to lose family. Because family, like I said, as you gaining more knowledge, as you gaining more wisdom, as you gaining more financial stability, as you reaping the fruits of your labor, you know, they're going to feel entitled to the fruits of your labor. They're going to be jealous of your blessings. You know, it's crazy, but this is the truth. The people that's closest to you, a lot of times, they end up being jealous and envious of your blessings and of your spirit. You know, they want your soul. They want your soul. But they don't have the confidence. They don't have the self-esteem. No, they don't have the drive. They're not you. No, they're going to try to mock your personality. But they're not going to be able to be you. They're not going to be able to be the original. So guys, man, like I said, man, you got to be prepared to lose friends and family. Especially family. You know, even if it's a mom, even if it's a dad, brother or sister. You know, because when you are a chosen one, like I said, your blessings start to come. They're going to start to feel entitled. But they're not on their journey. That's the reason why. They're not on their path. They're not trying to better their life. They're remaining stagnant. They're doing the bare minimum. And you giving it all you got as a chosen one. Because, like I said, when God's preparing you to be a chosen one, you start to give your purpose all you got. And as they start to see you doing better, they're going to feel funny. You know, they're going to feel bitter. They're going to feel left out. You know. Because, like I said, nobody want to, especially your family, they don't want to see you successful unless they are associated to your success. Unless they're connected to your success. They don't want to see you successful, even your friends. So guys, man, you got to be prepared to just lose friends and family. It's okay. You continue to keep moving forward. And that shouldn't even bother you in the first place because God's preparing you to be the best version of you. And that matters more than, you know, people that's just in the way of what God got prepared for you. Okay? So number 4, your heart gets broken. You know, this is a big one. Number 4 is a big one, bro. You know, this, I can relate to this. And there's nothing wrong with having a broken heart. I'm not afraid to tell you that, yeah, my heart been broken more than one time. You know, well, first of all, it was chipped and then it got broken. You know what I'm saying? So, but guys, man, like I said, when your heart break, you know, like I said, I went through a period of time where I was going through a lot of mental pain. I was going through a lot of depression and mentally because I was stagnant mentally. I was not growing. And it caused depression because I did not want to seek knowledge. I did not want to seek wisdom. I did not want to seek God. You know, I was trying to dodge what God had for me. I was trying to dodge what God gave me, and that was the spirit of a chosen one. I was trying to dodge that, and I had to go through a heartbreak. You know, and as I started going through that heartbreak, I started doing a lot of research about stuff. You know, what's wrong with me? Why am I going through this? Why am I going through this mental pain? Why am I going through this, heartbreak? You know what I'm saying? And that's because, I had to be broken to get put back together again, all over again, in a better way. You know what I'm saying? And when I got through that heartbreak, and I got put back together all over again, I became a stronger-minded person. You know, when I went through the mental pain and the mental pain ended, I got more knowledge. That was the end of the mental pain. You know, when I started getting more knowledge and wisdom, the mental pain left. And I started to love myself, that mental pain left. And I became chosen one. You know, it gets deep, being a chosen one. You might have to go through that heartbreak, like I said, like me. It's okay if you're going through that heartbreak. And now you're alone. She left you, or he left you, or they cheated, or whatever the case is. It was a dysfunctional relationship. Now you are alone by yourself. And you kind of suffering. It's because something that you're lacking. Something that you don't know. Maybe it's something that God has some plan for your life. And it is. He's preparing you to be a chosen one. You got to get broken first to be a chosen one. You got to get your heart broken first. So when you become a chosen one, nothing can break your heart. The haters can't stop you. The jealousy can't stop you. The abandonment cannot interfere with your path and your journey to being a chosen one. You can take the negativity. You know what I'm saying? You develop the mental strength to take it. If you can get through that heartbreak, you can get through all the hate that's coming your way as a chosen one. So this is a really good sign, man. And like I said, it shapes you. It's going to shape you. That heartbreak going to shape you. It's going to make you into a better person. It's going to mold you into a stronger-minded person. You're going to be more selective with who you choose. You're going to be more logical. You're going to be more aware. Not just only aware of the things of this world, but aware of from the things within. Who you are and what you like and what you don't like. So guys, man, you getting your heart broke. Excuse me, guys. I just ate. It's preparing you to be a chosen one now. Let's get to it. Number 5, you start to take your life serious. All right. Now, when you start to take your life serious, like I said, it used to be, like for example, you used to be a clown. You thought that you had all year long to get your life together. You thought you thought you had time. Let's keep it real, because that's what we taught. We got time, right? And then when you start to take your life more serious, God is preparing you to be a chosen one. Because chosen ones, we take our life serious, especially our purpose. And our purpose is in our life. It's who we are. So when you step into your purpose, you're going to start to take your life serious. This is factual, guys. And like I said, man, this is what's going to happen when God is preparing you to be a chosen one. You're going to stop goofing around. You're going to stop wasting time. You're going to stop doing things that don't benefit you. You're going to stop going places that don't benefit you. You're going to stop putting your money towards things that don't benefit you. You're going to stop putting your mind and your energy towards things and people and environments that don't benefit you. Okay? So this is what's going to happen when God is preparing you to be a chosen one. You start to take your life serious. And number 6, you start to love yourself. Yep. When God's preparing you to be a chosen one, and when you're on this journey, you start to love yourself more and more and more and more and more. And as you start loving yourself more and more and more and more, guess what's happening? Your vibration is going up. You start to know your worth. You start to know who you are. You start to know your true identity. You start to get rid of people that's not supporting you. You start to stop hanging around people that's not giving you love, that's not showing you love. You stop hanging around people that mean you no good. As far as like certain friends, stop hanging around them, man. Because you're starting to love yourself. And as you're starting to love yourself, like I said, it shapes your character. You start to have a better character. You start to have a broader perspective on life. You start to identify what does not benefit you. You start to identify low vibrations as you start to love yourself, because your vibration going up, and you don't want to be around those low vibrational spirits, those demons and witches. You don't want to be around that. All right, like I said, man, when God's preparing you to be a chosen one, you most definitely start to love yourself, because when God prepares you to be a chosen one, we love ourselves because we got a strong mind, we got strong will, we got strong manifestation. All right? And number 7, you ignore haters. When God's preparing you to be a chosen one, you start to ignore haters. Like I had a hater today. He was saying something about, me getting my heart broken, something like that. And that's fine. I just removed him from my comment section. I didn't say anything to him. I just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my vibration is up. His vibration is down here, low, trying to make fun of me, talking about my heart being broken. You know what I'm saying? So that demon, I had to get rid of him. But he tried to stop me. See, that demon tried to stop me. That was being used through that man. But he couldn't. He can't touch this high vibrational energy. He can't touch it. He can't touch my magnetism. My magnetism is too strong. My biofield is too powerful. My mindset is too strong for you to stop me from doing what I'm doing. You know, you can't touch it. You know, like I said, because God is preparing me to be a chosen one. And when God is preparing me to be a chosen one, as I'm continue to pursue my purpose and reach out to more people, nobody can stop it. You can't stop that, man. So, like I said, man, the haters, you know, you're going to develop something called tough skin. You're going to develop something called a tough psyche. You know, that the enemy can't break you. You know, he can't destroy you. You know what I'm saying? If God before you could be against you, that's what it's all about, man. So guys, man, number 7, you ignore haters. Like, that's what I'm doing, man. I've been doing this for 2 years straight. I've been ignoring haters for 2 years straight. People comment something negative. Who cares, man? Like I said, man, a lot of these low vibrational people don't have nothing to do with their life except comment something negative to stop you from being the better version of yourself, to stop you from getting to where you want to be in life, because they don't have the courage to do what I'm doing. See, that demon that was trying to make fun of my heartbreak, he don't have the courage to do what I'm doing, and I understand that. So I'm not gonna pick on him. I just know he got a bad spirit that's within him. So no, I'm gonna leave that alone. You know, I'm gonna ignore that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give that validation. I'm not gonna give that spirit my time and my energy. I'm not gonna let that spirit change my emotional state of being. But guys, man, these are the 7 signs that God's preparing you to be a chosen one, man. Hope you guys like, man. Y'all like, man. Get this in the algorithm. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all like this, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Coleman. I'm out.